welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are doing a Q&A video. So Lyle and I just got back from the Hamptons. We literally just drove up, brought our bags upstairs, and I am filming this today to go live tomorrow. It was Memorial Day weekend this weekend, and today is Monday, and I post a video every Tuesday and I am sticking to it. So I thought, what can I make that I can do in such a short period of time? And a Q&A video popped into my head. So I put on my Instagram stories a question box and you guys submitted your questions. So I am just going to go through and answer them. So the first question is 5 favorite wardrobe staples. I would say a little white dress. So a lot of people would say a little black dress. I would say a little white dress. Ballet flats for sure. I would say a midi skirt, like a neutral like cream or ivory pleated midi skirt, or like a silk kind of satin midi skirt. A wool coat, like a really pretty wool coat in whatever color suits you best, like a wool wrap coat for the winter. I want to say either a trench coat or a lady jacket for the 5th. I would also want to say a mini skirt, but I know that's not a staple for a lot of people. But yeah, I would say probably trench coat over lady jacket. So yeah, those are my 5. Do you see yourself having kids in the future? My 2-year-old loves watching your videos. Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah, I think Lyle and I definitely want to have a family. Hopefully we can, have a family ourselves, if, we're lucky enough. We're not, trying right now, but I think, eventually when the time comes, we would love to have a family. How has the switch to full-time content creation been thus far? It's been amazing. I've honestly loved doing this for a living. It just means everything to me and more. I feel like it's almost not real though. Like it's like I'm just dreaming through life. Like I'm just blacked out watching it all happen. It's just been really great, and surprisingly since I've done this, I've been getting invited to more events and I've been getting reached out to more from brands and getting opportunities, and it's all been inbound. Someone asked in a comment like, have you been reaching out to brands more? Not necessarily, no. These are all I've just gotten really lucky. What I have focused on though is just putting out a lot more content. So as you've seen on here, I've been gone from 1, sometimes 2 videos a week to always 3 videos a week. And then I am trying to actually start posting more YouTube shorts. I just posted my first YouTube short, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, it's totally different, obviously. Like my day-to-days are not structured at all. It's the same as they used to be, but I try to keep a pretty good structure of like, waking up early, taking out Genie first thing, looking at my emails first thing, still doing my workouts, like still making dinners, still just like trying to stick to as much of a schedule as I can. But I just love doing what I love. It's just like, I can't believe it's real, honestly. It's been amazing. What do you do to ground yourself and stay so positive? Love your videos. I guess I just kind of understand that nothing is perfect, and I have so many moments that are just like not necessarily on camera that I just, have to deal with and go through as we all do as humans. And my mom is very positive, so I think I get some of that from her. And I try to really make these YouTube videos just like, I'm not like consciously, I guess, trying to make it something, but I'm not going to, I guess, talk about something like a subject that really brings the video down, because I know personally, like when I'm watching things, I want to feel good after watching them. I don't like when the whole reason I guess why I watch like a YouTube video is because it's like just makes me feel in a happy mood, like positive, and just makes me feel like things are right in the world. Because especially when I see something scary on the news, or I see something scary on the streets of New York City, or something happens in my life, I feel like turning on a YouTube video is that place to just sort of feel calm and at peace. And everyone has something different for themselves. Like some people like to turn on comedy, or some people just like to scroll on Instagram for hours. But I know personally when I watch a YouTube video that I just want to just see something happy. And so I guess in the back of my head, it's not the forefront of my head when I'm making the videos, but it's like kind of in the back of my head is like, all this is about is just, you know, a girl figuring out her life in the city. It's like a girl in a rom-com, and you know, I feel like that just ends up being sort of just a positive, happy thing most of the time. So yeah, I don't know. Can we get more content with Genie? We love her. Oh yes, I will try to show her more often. Yeah, I love her too, and I know you guys love seeing her. She's so cute. Yeah, I'll try to show Genie more on camera. Wait, let me get Genie right now so I can stick to that. Whew. Here she is. Say hi, Genie. Hi. She just had a long car ride, and she did really good in the car ride. She does tend to get car sick, so yeah, so we try not to feed her ahead of time and things like that, but she's very sleepy right now. I feel bad I kind of woke her up from a nap. But yeah, she can just sit here. I don't know if you guys can see her, kind of. Yeah, so you can just sit here for a bit if she wants. Do you ever want your own brand? If so, what would it be? I think that would be really cool. There isn't anything specific that I have in my head right now, except for one thing, which I've already told you guys about on here, which is making the makeup bags. So I did a sewing series where I learned how to sew, and I started creating like a prototype, and I've been working on like fabrics and stuff. So yeah, I actually need to get started on that soon because I finally have all of the supplies. So yeah, stay tuned for makeup bags being sold on this channel. So yeah, I think in the near future it would be that. In the far future, I don't know right now, but I do think that that would be pretty cool. Favorite everyday perfume. So I actually don't wear perfume every day because I'm like afraid of too much fragrance and like formaldehydes and things like that. But when I feel like I want to have a nice scent, my like everyday one in the last couple years has been Solaris by Penhaligon's. I wore Glossier You for a really long time in my 20s when I worked at Glossier, and then after, so that was like my scent for a while, but I've kind of gone off of that. On my wedding day, I wore Gardenia by Chanel. And then I also wore it on our honeymoon, and I wore it on our anniversary, so that's my like wedding scent. I think I have a few others that I've like sprinkled in here and there. But yeah, those are my current go-tos. Do you see yourself living in New York City in 5 years? Love your channel. Thank you. Yes, in 5 years, most likely. The earlier question about whether or not we want to have a family, we pretty much decided that if we do have a family, you know, eventually think that we would want to raise kids in the suburbs, only because it's just so much safer. There's better school systems. I think it would just all around make a lot more sense, which, you know, obviously would you know, with everything on this channel, I think that would obviously be a big transition, but I don't think that that would be for a while, because if we do have kids, we would stay in the city for basically as long as we can until they are like school age. Yeah, I think our food just got here and we are starving, so I'm gonna pause to eat our food and then I'll be right back. Okay, back. Are you moving anytime soon? So our lease was up right when our wedding was happening last year. So we signed a 2-year lease. So it's now been a year, and now we have another year on this apartment. And then yeah, we'll see what happens after that. Most likely moving though. So yeah, that'll be fun, and I'll keep you guys obviously in the loop on all of that as I know things. What recent vlog did you enjoy making the most, and why? Actually, I think the vlog that I just filmed, I know you're probably looking for something I just posted recently. I also like the last vlog that I just put live. I thought that that was nice. Yeah, the Hamptons one I just filmed because I got so many good shots and I felt like it got really creative, and I don't know, it's very like aesthetically pleasing vlog. So yeah, I can't wait to show you guys that one. Plans for summer, we really don't have a ton of plans, honestly. I think we have a wedding we're going to this summer and no specific trips planned. We want to go to Japan hopefully in September. I know that that's not the summer, but that's the end of the summer. Maybe we'll, you know, see my family at some point. I don't know, but yeah, we really don't have like a ton of summer plans. I'll just be here in the city. Have you joined any influencer management company? If not, did you have such offers? I have not. There has been no management company in the picture here. There is one that reached out to me like a while ago, like a couple of years ago, and I know that it's one that some people that you guys might be familiar with work with now, but I actually turned them down because at the time, I didn't really think that it made sense. It was a startup, and one of the girls, it was like two girls that started it, and one of them I actually went to college with, and she was like younger than me, so it just felt like it wasn't really legit. Although I have seen them work with some other YouTubers that I know, and seems like they've gotten some good opportunities, so I'm sure that it is, you know, like more legit now. But yeah, no, I haven't gotten reached out to by any like influencer management companies or anything like that. I think that, you know, would be nice to work with them, but I think they work with people much bigger than me. But yeah, I'd say that that's a goal of mine. No question, just love you so much. Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. How hard were your pup's first months? Was training her difficult? The first months were definitely the hardest. We're still working on training her. We have a trainer that comes every Friday, and prior to that, when she was much younger, we brought her to puppy kindergarten. So she learned some basic things there, but we felt like there's some other things we needed to work on with her more recently, like pulling on the leash and jumping up on people, kind of biting at us, just like little things that we're working on right now. But yeah, the first couple, honestly, like the first week, like the first couple days were the hardest, then the first week, then yeah, even the first month was hard. It really is like having like a newborn like child, not exactly obviously, but just in the fact that like she keeps you up all night, there's accidents everywhere, you're just constantly picking up accidents, because they say for city dogs that you're not supposed to walk them on the streets until they've gotten all their vaccinations. So eventually we kind of learned from going to puppy school that like most people don't wait that long, so we didn't end up waiting until the very end of the vaccinations, but we did wait a while. So there was a long time of like cleaning up so many of her accidents in the apartment, like barking in the crate, waking us up in the middle of the night, and it just, yeah, it was really tough, but honestly, like so totally worth it because we love her so much. And it didn't last forever. She's great now. She sleeps through the night. She wakes us up between 6 and 8 a.m. But actually in the last week it's been closer to like 8, even 8:30. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, definitely tough in the beginning. Any getaways to Europe this summer? No, I wish. I would love to go to Europe, but it's just so expensive, and obviously like, you know, with my lifestyle changes and everything, I'm, you know, obviously not making as much as I used to doing this, and working a 9-to-5 like corporate job. So yeah, but you know, like I said, we do want to go to Japan in September, so that'll be our big trip this year. That'll be like obviously a big trip, so that'll be nice. But no, I think this year it'll probably be more local trips. So yeah, nothing planned. How is it going now with your new chapter? You're glowing, so proud of you. Thank you. I just love it so much, and I really appreciate you saying that. It really is a dream come true, and I just love that I'm doing this every day. What has been your favorite thing about married life so far? Well, I feel like people ask us all the time, like, oh, how's married life? And I'm kind of like, honestly, it's not that much different than before we were married. I mean, I'd say, like, it's not any different from since we've lived together, because obviously that's a big change. prior to living together versus now being married. Obviously that's a much bigger change. But yeah, I don't know. It's good. I mean, I love it. We got Genie. I'd say we're really, really happy. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about saying like, oh, my husband, whatever, because it just always felt like, oh, I'd feel like a real adult saying that. And now I love saying it. I'll be like in a conversation like, oh, my husband, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of fun. And obviously I love wearing a sparkly ring every day. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't, like, it's honestly not too much different day to day from since living with each other, but yeah, it's going really well and we're really happy. Favorite and least favorite city you've traveled to and why? Favorite, of course, is Paris. I just feel like there's no other place like it. It's a city that I feel like was just built for women. Like, it is so beautiful there. It's just everywhere you turn, it's just so beautifully made, and it's such a romantic city, and I love all of the like the history of like the luxury designers that are there, and the shopping and the cafes and everyone sitting outside, and the museums are so good. I just feel so at peace and inspired by being in Paris. Second to Paris, I think, was Rome. I just had such like a magical experience in Rome. Oh wait, okay, now I'm gonna go down a whole list of like, there's lots of places that I've been. I've been incredibly lucky to have traveled to so many beautiful places in this world. But when it comes to least favorite, there actually is one that popped into my mind. And this might be sort of surprising, and it's actually Bali. I went to Bali when I was in college because I studied abroad in New Zealand, and my friends and I, when I was there, did a trip to Bali, Indonesia, and I've heard since being there that apparently either it's very polarizing, like it pulls you in one direction. Either you absolutely love it, you feel so relaxed, so at peace, or you feel like an extreme sense of chaos and unease, and that is what I had when I was there. I mean, maybe because we did it in such a cheap way because we were college students, but I just felt a lot of moments where I felt unsafe. I felt like I couldn't walk home at night by myself. That being said, obviously it's such a beautiful country as well. There's so many beautiful things there. I don't know. I do feel grateful and lucky that I traveled there, because it's a place that I think many people would love to see in the world, and I am obviously so grateful that I got to see it. But it's just, yeah. Have you ever been depressed? I've never like been diagnosed as depressed, but I'd say that I had one period in my life that it was right after I graduated college, and I didn't have a job lined up, and a lot of my friends did, and it was just a really tough time for me to navigate. I feel like that's a very like common problem and a very first world thing to say. It's not like it wasn't that crazy, but just I felt very lost. And then I had set my heart on New York City, and I just felt like it was almost like near impossible to get here. And I traveled back and forth so many times, having like no idea what I was doing. At least minimum 6-hour drive with no traffic from where my parents are in New Hampshire to here in New York City. And I remember I did that 6-hour drive and back, so 12 hours driving total, plus the time I was here, just for a 7-minute interview. Actually, it wasn't an interview, it was just a coffee date. So I just like got coffee with someone, and they had to go, and we were only together for 7 minutes, and I drove all the way back. That's how like desperate I was to move here. And I just felt like by experiences like that, it was so humbling, and I just felt like I had no connections. What I wanted to do, like working for a magazine, was so competitive, and I don't know, I just felt really lost. I was also just like sitting at home by myself in New Hampshire after having been like with friends all the time and everything. So yeah, that was like, I'd say like that's like the time in my life that comes to mind. But yeah, no, I've never like outside of that fully felt like I was depressed, thankfully. You mentioned you grew up with golden retrievers. Did you consider it when you decided getting Genie? Yeah, of course. I would love to have a golden retriever, but we never like actually would considered getting a golden retriever. I think just being in a small New York City apartment, I feel like a smaller dog is just better. I almost just feel bad having a big dog in a tiny apartment, especially golden retrievers, like because I grew up with golden retrievers on a lake. They love swimming and foraging and running around, and we gave them such a good life, and knowing that like that's what they love, and then being in a tiny city apartment, I couldn't do it. And also Lyle has allergies as well, and golden doodles are hypoallergenic. So yeah, but I know I love golden retrievers. Like a golden retriever puppy just like melts my heart like nothing else. Do you miss anything about your corporate job? I'd say I do miss having this human connection, because in doing what I do now, I spend so much time alone. I am just alone by myself all day long. And yes, I do go out and film, but I don't really have a community around me. I guess like when I go to the gym, then I sort of feel like it's a bit of a community, but there's only one class I take where like the same people come every time, and I don't really talk to them because I'm like shy. But yeah, I'd say the sense of community in terms of just like, you know, when you work with people day to day, I do miss that. And yeah, I do sometimes think about the people that I used to work with, like, oh, I wish I could talk to this person right now. I guess I could message them, but it's not really the same. How did you do your wedding hair updo? So it was a bun. It was like a high bun, like a ballerina bun, slicked back with a like clip-in ponytail extension that we put into a bun. Because obviously if you look at the videos and pictures and stuff, I do not have that much hair. So yeah, it was a clip-in ponytail that we got at the hair shop, and then we just put it into a ballerina bun, slick back, and it actually ended up being a good hairstyle because it was raining that day, and during the ceremony there was rain coming down, so I think if I didn't have this slick back and it was looser, that my hair would have frizzed up, which actually brings me a little bit of peace to think about, because I did at one point have a little bit of a regret not doing a French twist, because I think that my hair that's like one of the styles that suits me the most is a French twist, so I kind of had regretted not doing that with like some little pieces down. I feel like that would have been really pretty, but yeah, ultimately ballerina bun is what I did. How do you keep your body flexible, and could you do a video for stretching? Okay, I love this question because I love stretching, and I stretch actually so much. So the way I think to do it is, one, just like consistency, keep doing it over and over, but two, stretch before and after your workout classes. So if you're going to go take a workout class, arrive 15 minutes early, go on the mat, and do your stretches. So that's actually even going to be beneficial for any of the moves that you're doing during your class. And then after your class, once your muscles are warmed up and your body is warmed up, then stretch again, and it really you can even stretch even further, you'll notice, after that, and it's just a good way to emphasize it. So if you're stretching before and after your classes like every time, then you'll eventually start to become flexible, and you have to push yourself a little bit further every time. And could I do a video for stretching? Okay, I would love to show you guys my stretching routine, just do a whole video just on the stretching routine, because I do the same routine every time, and it's the one that I have done for like 20 years or something. So let me know in the comments if you guys would want to see that. When will you go to Paris again? Oh my gosh, hopefully as soon as possible. I want to be in Paris like every season. There's like, it's crazy because like there's like influencers and, you know, content creators that I see that travel to Paris all the time, and I'm like, oh, that is such goals, you know. I wish that could be me. But yeah, no plans right now, but if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. Oh, and then the same person asked, and do you plan to work remote for a month abroad again? Loved your vlogs from Europe. I would love to do that, but again, it just comes down to the finances. I don't have as much flexibility as I used to, but if I could, well, actually, I was going to say if I could, I would, but now that we have Genie, I just don't think that that would be possible at all because she's such a handful, and when Lyle is at work, I'm doing Genie all day, so I just don't know how that would work. Tips for corporate girlies with burnout who can't take prolonged time off. So tired. I know that feeling. I've been there, and it can be really, really tough. I think you just have to really find ways to unwind before and after work, like getting into routines. So say like when you come home at the end of the day, or even if you work from home, just trying to create that separation. So that could be, you know, you come home, you put your keys down, you do your skincare routine, you make yourself dinner, you light a candle, you watch a movie or read a book or whatever makes you happy, put on your cozy pajamas. For if you're someone that works from home, maybe you need a little bit more of a separation. So that's why I liked signing up for workout classes that were at like 5:30, like between like 5 and 6 o'clock, because it's like right after the work day is over. So then it's like you shut your laptop, you leave, do something, and then come back, and it feels almost like your space is a different space, and then do your nighttime routine and everything like that. Yeah, I guess sometimes it's good to just sort of ground ourselves with those things. Like we used to say, like, look, we are not saving lives here. We are just, in my case, we're just selling pants on the internet, because it was retail, which is not an important thing. So just, and I mean, unless you actually are saving lives, which which is great, but you know, for most corporate you're not. So just remembering that like it's really not that important, and also just kind of thinking like, you know, if it is burning you out, like is there something else that doesn't make you feel burned out that you could maybe pivot to, and sort of on the side start building that up until you can get to the point that you do it. But yeah, taking lots of vacations, using all of your PTO days, use up all your vacation days. I think that that's everything up until this point, except for the questions that were repeats. So yeah, I think that this should be pretty long at this point, so hopefully that was good. If there were any questions that I didn't answer or anything, or if you didn't see the Instagram stories, because I think I'm going to shut it off now and it only will have been up for just a few hours, then yeah, leave your question down below and either I can answer it in the comments or answer it on a future video. But yeah, just want to end by saying that I'm so grateful that you guys are here and watching, and I appreciate it so much and I don't take it for granted. And yeah, I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day. I hope everyone has great summer plans, and we're using our time off. And yeah, well, alright, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.